Silky, composed and unstoppable
Bro, this guy might arguably be the most complete midfielder in the world.
are some of the words to describe how dominant Ryan Gravenberch has become in Liverpool's midfield.
Different positions, different profiles. He can be, more attacking if you want, but he's got such running power that you can drop him in any position. I thought it was great at right back, actually.
But before his Anfield glory began, he faced crushing rejection and career-threatening setbacks that nearly ended his dream, before it truly started. From being cast aside as not good enough, to becoming what I believe could be the most complete midfielder of his generation, this is the story of Ryan Gravenberch. Gravenberch's journey doesn't begin with the roar of Anfield, but in the quiet streets of Amsterdam, where dreams are born and broken daily. Born to a Surinamese father and Dutch mother, Ryan was raised with one clear message from his family. Football was his ticket to a better life, but only if he could prove he belonged among the elite. At just 8 years old, Gravenberch walked through the doors of Ajax legendary academy, the same place that produced Cruyff, Bergkamp and countless other legends. Coming from local club Zeebrugge, Ryan was entering the most demanding football environment in the Netherlands, where only the elites survive. What made Ryan special wasn't just his technical ability, it was his mentality. While other kids crumbled under the pressure of Ajax demanding standards, Gravenberch thrived. He worked his way through every youth level with determination, showing coaches that he had something different. But the real pressure came from within his own family. His parents had immigrated from Suriname, sacrificing everything for better opportunities. Football wasn't just Ryan's dream, it was the family's ticket to a better life. Every training session, every youth match carried the weight of their hopes and sacrifices. The breakthrough moment that everyone talks about came on June 7, 2018, when Ryan received the first ever Abdelhak Nouri trophy, recognising him as the best talent in Ajax Academy. On that same day, he signed his first professional contract. At 16, he wasn't just another promising youngster anymore. He was Ajax Golden Boy. But what nobody expected was how quickly that Golden Boy status would translate to the biggest stage. On September 23, 2018, at just 16 years and 130 days old, Gravenberch became the youngest debutant in Ajax history, breaking a record previously held by Clarence Seedorf himself. Suddenly, the football world was watching this kid from Amsterdam, who seemed destined for greatness. By 18, Gravenberch had established himself as one of Europe's most promising midfielders, becoming the second youngest Ajax player this century to reach 100 first-team appearances. Manchester City, Barcelona, Real Madrid, every elite club wanted to sign this Dutch sensation. But when Bayern Munich came calling in June 2022 with an €18.5 million offer, Ryan thought he had made it to the promised land. What nobody knew was that this dream move would become his worst nightmare. From day one in Munich, nothing went according to plan. Julian Nagelsmann, Bayern's manager, saw Gravenberch as a rotation option rather than a key player. While teammates like Jamal Musiala and Alphonso Davies were thriving, Ryan found himself fighting for scraps of playing time, watching his development stagnate in real time. It was tough, really tough, Gravenberch would later admit. I was going crazy sitting on the bench. Here I was, at one of the biggest clubs in the world, but I felt completely lost. Game after game, he watched from the sidelines, as Bayern dominated the Bundesliga without needing him. The confidence that had been built through years at Ajax was being systematically destroyed. The stats paint a brutal picture. In his only season at Bayern, Gravenberch made just 22 appearances across all competitions, with only 12 Bundesliga starts. For a player who was supposed to be the future of Dutch football, he had become Germany's most expensive bench warmer. The media began questioning whether Bayern had made a costly mistake on another Eredivisie export. Behind closed doors, Ryan was battling mental health struggles that few knew about. His family back in Amsterdam could see he was deteriorating, but felt powerless to help. The boy who had broken Ajax records was now questioning everything about his career and his abilities. The breaking point came during Bayern's dominant 2022-23 season. While the team cruised to another Bundesliga title, Gravenberch was a spectator to their success. That's when he realised the harsh truth. No matter how talented you are, if you're not playing, your career dies a slow death. He needed an escape route, and fast. He needed to leave Bayern. His career, his confidence, his entire future depended on it. But who would want a failed Bayern signing? That's when Liverpool's phone started ringing, and Jurgen Klopp had a vision that nobody else could see. When Jurgen Klopp saw Ryan Gravenberch warming Bayern's bench, he didn't see a failure. He saw untapped potential waiting for the right system. "This boy has everything," Klopp told Liverpool's recruitment team. "He just needs someone to believe in him again." For £34 million, Liverpool took a massive gamble on football's most expensive bench warmer, but what happened next was nothing short of magical. From his very first training session at Kirkby, something was different. The Ryan Gravenberch, who had looked lost in Munich, was gone, replaced by a player hungry to prove the world wrong. His teammates were stunned by his range of passing.
But he is arguably one of the best midfield players in the Premier League right now.
His press resistance, and most importantly, his burning desire to succeed. The breakthrough moment came in Liverpool's clash against Arsenal at Anfield. With the score tied 1-1 and the crowd getting restless, Gravenberch stepped up in a way that sent 54,000 fans into absolute pandemonium. A perfectly weighted through ball. That's when I knew I was home, Gravenberch said after the match, tears streaming down his face as the cop sang his name. The numbers tell the story of his incredible transformation. In his first 20 Premier League appearances for Liverpool, Gravenberch has registered more key passes, more successful dribbles, and a higher pass completion rate than any other midfielder in his age bracket. This isn't just a comeback story, this is the emergence of a generational talent. But here's what makes Ryan's story even more incredible. He's not just playing well, he's revolutionising Liverpool's entire midfield.
He's been Liverpool's best player.
Absolutely. I would argue that without Gravenberch, Liverpool might not be top of the league.
Klopp has built the team around his unique ability to transition from defence to attack, turning him into the heartbeat of one of Europe's most feared teams. From that rejected 14-year-old at Ajax to Bayern's forgotten man, to now being mentioned alongside Bellingham and Pedri as the future of midfield play, Ryan Gravenberch has shown us that sometimes the biggest setbacks lead to the greatest comebacks. And if you ask me, we might just be watching the early chapters of Liverpool's next midfield legend take the field every single weekend. But here's where Ryan's story gets even more incredible. We're not just talking about a player who's bounced back from adversity, we're witnessing the birth of a modern midfield masterclass that's redefining what it means to control a football match. What sets Gravenberch apart from every other midfielder in the Premier League isn't just his technical ability, it's his football IQ that operates on a completely different level. Watch him closely during Liverpool matches and you'll notice something extraordinary. He always seems to know what's going to happen 3 passes before anyone else on the pitch. The Netherlands national team has taken notice too. After being overlooked during his Bayern wilderness period, Ryan has now become a key figure for his country, earning his spot alongside Frenkie de Jong and representing the future of Dutch football. At just 22, he's already being mentioned as a potential future captain for the Oranje. Liverpool fans have created chants specifically for him, something that doesn't happen overnight in football. The Kop has embraced this kid who was unwanted in Germany, turning him into one of their own. Gravenberch, running down the wing, echoes around Anfield every match day, and you can see what it means to him every time he hears it. Critics who doubted his move from Bayern are now eating their words. Former Liverpool legends like Steven Gerrard have publicly praised his performances, with Gerrard stating that Ryan reminds him of himself during his prime years at Anfield. That's not praise given lightly, that's recognition from Liverpool royalty. The transformation is so complete that Bayern Munich fans now regularly ask on social media why their club ever let him go. Bayern's loss has become Liverpool's greatest midfield signing since Thiago, and possibly even more impactful given his age and potential longevity with the club. As we watch Ryan Gravenberch continue to dominate Premier League midfields week after week, one thing becomes crystal clear. This isn't just a comeback story anymore. This is the story of a generational talent who refused to let one bad season define his entire career, and in doing so, has become exactly what Liverpool needed to compete with the very best in world football.